I work at a company called Andor Technology, which is an Oxford Instruments company, and there I work as an astronomy and a quantum application specialist. So that basically means that I'm the link between astronomers and our company. And maybe also just to mention that Andor Technology is a company that manufactures and sells scientific camera solutions for astronomy, but also for other scientific applications. Yes, absolutely. So I'm really grateful for that. One thing is that is really important to me is that I did leave science after my PhD, but through that job, I still feel connected to astronomy and the community. And another big thing for me is I really love the traveling aspect. So I really get to see a lot of different research groups. I hear about the projects. So that is really amazing. And another, I think that's even the most important part, it's a very flexible job. So my husband has a job where we have to move quite often internationally. So Andor and Oxford Instruments is really supportive of that. And I'm really grateful because otherwise I would either have to stay behind and be away from my husband, or I would have to quit my job every, 1 or 2 years. And so I'm really happy that I can keep my job, I can keep on working, and it's really flexible and every day is different. So I really appreciate that. I finished my PhD in 2018. So my PhD was in natural sciences with a main focus in astrophysics. And I actually always thought I wanted to stay in science, but then I realized throughout my PhD that I needed a change. So afterwards I applied for all kinds of different jobs. I applied for data science jobs and project management. And throughout the application and interview process, I actually realized that I wanted to do something more commercial. I didn't want to do only just programming. So I just wanted to work with people and do something a bit more commercial. And at that time, I didn't know what was out there and what was possible. But I say that I was quite lucky because in the meantime, where I had all these thoughts, I was actually contacted by a recruiter on LinkedIn. And he shared that job profile with me. And I have to be honest, I actually ignored that job description and that post for like 2 weeks because it sounded too good to be true. Like it involved a home office and traveling, and it was still related to astronomy. So I felt like, this cannot really exist. But then my husband pushed me and said, well, just write back, ask some questions and see where it goes. And that's the job that I have now. So I have to say LinkedIn does really help find your job. Actually, there is no typical day for me, especially in non-COVID times where I travel. Like 2 years ago, I traveled internationally. Like I visited Hawaii, California, Sweden. I visited the Baltics, in the UK, Switzerland, and so on. So you can't really say there's one typical day. And also now in a home office, I just work with so many different research projects and research groups. So when I was in science before, I worked mainly on exoplanet observations. And now it is really the big difference that I work with so many different groups. So I work with solar astronomers or people that focus on space debris tracking. And now recently I also work with quantum physicists. So you can't really say that every day looks the same. Well, I think I mentioned that earlier. So the first thing is that I work with so many different research groups. It's really interesting to hear about different projects and also their requirements. And another big thing is that it's just really rewarding when you work with a group for a long time. You try to find the perfect solution for them. So, Andor offers off-the-shelf camera solutions, but often, and especially in astronomy, there are some customizations required that fit the project. And yeah, that's really cool if you can find that ideal solution for the group and they're really happy and you're happy, and then you get to see the results, and or they even do a webinar for you and you can hear more about the project and share that with others. And that's really cool. Things that I don't like. I mean, when I started working for the company in 2018 and in 2019, so I was traveling quite a lot. So that was, I mean, traveling can get quite exhausting at some points, like if you travel every week. But yeah, I mean, now I'm in home office since March 2020, so that starts to feel a bit tough as well. So yeah, I just think you have to find the right balance between home office and traveling. And so in school, I did realize which subjects I did not really like. So that was like history and these things. So I tried and I knew that I liked math and physics, but I didn't really know what to do with that in the future. So I just tried to, first of all, get into a program that had more natural science focus. Unfortunately, that didn't work out because we were only 4 students that were interested in that program. So that actually didn't take place, but it would have been really nice if that happened. But what I did then was that I just tried to get some extra subjects that I could choose. Like I had some geometrical drawing, like technical drawing class that I did. That was real fun. I did some biology field trips. So I just explored all kinds of extra courses or programs that I could do that were focused on natural science, just to get a feeling for it and see how that would be useful for my future and to see which future path I'll take. It's really rewarding when you work on a customized project with the customer, and it finally comes together. And because usually these types of projects, they're not done within a month, so you work on that for a year and a half. So it's really, really rewarding when you find that ideal solution and it all works out and you see it start operating at the telescope and you get the results. So that's really rewarding. Pretty much like the job that I have now. So that's pretty awesome. Before I got this job, I didn't even knew it was out there. But yeah, maybe in the future, because Andor right now provides camera solutions for ground-based observatories. So maybe in the future it would also be cool to work on projects that also involve space-based detectors and these types of missions. So that would be cool. Or even maybe do something completely different, be involved in the field of climate change. So I don't know, a lot of different ideas. And I also have to say that I'm still exploring all kinds of aspects of my role that I have now. So I started 2 years ago and my role was really growing continuously. So I could always add a few extra things to my list. And so I'm still exploring. I think networking is a big part. That really helps. Even while you're studying, just really talk to a lot of different people. Don't be shy to ask for advice and ask for what opportunities might be out there. It just also helps you find out what you don't want to do. So I think that is a very valuable experience that you can gain. Then during my studies, perseverance is a big thing as well, that you don't give up right away if something is difficult. Like if you push through it, it will be worth it and you'll be so proud of yourself and no one can take this experience away from you. Then when I was looking for a job, I would say really LinkedIn did help a lot, having a spot on profile, and that really helped. And so to summarize, I would say networking, just talking to people, perseverance, And yeah, always when I think back about my early days of studying, like I had a job in gastronomy for like 6 years after school and my first years of studying. And I always wonder if that kind of helped me overcome my shyness in the future at networking events and so on, to talk to different people. Like, I don't know if there's a connection to that, but I do think it helped somehow. So any type of work experience that you can gather is really valuable, whether you find out that this is something you don't want to do, or yeah, maybe this will be helpful for anything you do in the future. So just gather all kinds of different experiences, I think.